getting into for this this session? It's like character discussion.
We're playing. You'll see.
Oh, cool.
The firelight of the candles and the hearth shimmer throughout the tavern. The sound of patrons relaxing after a hard day's work echo throughout. You stand behind the counter, pouring drinks as that they bellow for. 2 barmaids serve the patrons with forced smiles and laughter. 3 men and 2 orcs sit at the bar, chatting away the night. 1 drunkard is slurring a story about his glory days.
You know, kids these days, they have no respect for how good they have it. You know, I once killed a man by looking at him. He just saw me tattered and torn and just dropped. And could you get me another drink? Hey, I'm talking to you.
Wait, time out. Out of character for a second. So I'm Barakas right now.
Yeah, the game on.
And this is what? When is this? When is this?
You're working at a tavern right now.
Yeah, like this is before I left. On.
You are still in Valden.
Okay, that's what I was like. What's happening? Okay, cool.
I'm talking to you. Were you not even paying attention?
Sir, sorry. Well, what would you like to drink?
What's the cheapest thing?
There's some wet puddles outside. I can get you a glass of that.
Ah, you're being smart with me. Just give me what's on tap.
And then he just like throws like a bag of silver at you.
All right, I take the silver and pour on a glass of our tap.
All right. As you're doing this, the tavern is pretty busy tonight. There's a lot of the local patrons that you've gotten to know, the drunkard included. The 2 barmaids are, just like taking food that the cook has prepared in the back and throwing it to, not throwing it, and serving it to the patrons and the guests. There are people going in and out. It is just stopped raining from the outside. So people are tracking in mud and talking about glorious battles or the shitty day that they had at work or just the common riffraff. And one of the barmaids looks back at you and and walks up. He's like, "Hey, I need 2 orders of river trout like it was yesterday. Could you just take these, and then just and hands you a big stack of 5 large dishes and slams it on the counter. Thank you very much. And then goes to the counter, grabs more food, and then walks upstairs.
Like dirty dishes?
Yeah, like dirty dishes.
God damn. So what are my surroundings like? I'm working the bar, it seems.
So if you're facing outward, you see the counter. To your left is the drunkard. To your right is 3 men and 2 orcs that are sitting at the bar, all talking about encounters that they had that day. They seem to be guards of some kind. Out on the tables ahead of you, you see commoners, farmers, just people unwinding from a day's work. and you see like a group of like around, I'm gonna say 3 people, 2 humans and 1 orc, all gathering around the fire with their feet up, trying to get their feet dry from the rain that just stopped.
Okay, do I have like a sink or something?
There's a sink in the back.
What kind of coworkers?
You have Yolan, the cook, in the back.
Okay, cool. So I grab the dishes. Wait, Yoland?
Yeah, Yolan. Yolan.
Okay.
Yolan.
Hey, Yoland. We got 4 new orders of fresh fish.
All right.
And for the bar.
Like, tell me something I don't know.
I take the dishes, throw them in this sink, scrub them off real quick, put them up on, I don't know, wherever they're supposed to go.
So you go back in the kitchen and you start doing you start doing.
No,
the dishes?
I just put the dishes there and I go back to the bar actually.
Okay. So you slam the dishes down. As soon as you do, just a hand seeming coming from nowhere just takes them and then they're gone. It's just
cool.
it's a very busy day.
All right, so I'm working the bar.
Go back to the bar, and the old orc. Oh damn it! The old orc drunk. I just broke a button. The old orc drunk that was sitting at your left is now just head down, just talking away. Didn't even notice that you left. And ahead of you, because you went down the bar to put the dishes down in the kitchen, you hear the bickering of the orcs and men that were sitting on the other side of the bar. And saying like, "Oh God, it was the saddest thing you ever did see. You know, they were all huddled up in a corner, and there's no honor in it." I was like, yeah, and this was one of the men talking, and then goes over to an orc, just on the far side of the bar. I was like, yeah, I know what you mean. These days, the captain doesn't even care if you kill unarmed or armed or trained or. Sometimes I think that man just likes killing. And the men next to him, hey man, God, sometimes I wonder. I think we all do. But that's not why we're here. We're here to not think. Aye! And then they all slam their cups against each other. This like wooden, God, I'm spacing on the like pints. Slam it together as the foam dumps all over the counter, and they're like, shit, Barakas, could you? And then pointing down.
Yeah. So they spilt their alcohol or something?
Yeah, as they slammed their cups together, all of the beer that was held within just spilled out into each other's cups and then slammed down on the counter.
Into each other's cups?
Well, yeah. So
and then on the counter.
So like they all met in the center, and then it all just spilled out.
All right, so I go, I get them another glass, and can't hold your own alcohol. See, but yeah, I get them another glass for each. Put on their tab, right?
Yeah. He's like, aye, but there's a difference between holding your alcohol and holding your alcohol. And then you notice that his hand's kind of shaky. Huh. Didn't used to do that. And then he just downs it and slams it.
I like these Tavern guys.
So the night goes on. Another basic night of what you're used to. And it's not long before the drunkard that was to your left, is just passed out, just head on the counter with the glass of unfinished pale ale that's just sitting there. And the night's starting to wind down a little bit, and but the group that was talking to you before has not stopped and keeps on getting more and more and more rowdy. And then it's like,
Yeah, those assholes! They deserved everything that was coming to them. Oh, God damn it! I'm so hammered!
and they're just being very obvious. They seem like kind of like they're trying to enjoy themselves, but by drowning their sorrows, but it's just making it worse, kind of thing. Like they just like instead of thinking less, they're just like, God, I don't even know what I'm doing with my life anymore. I'm just going from one point to the other. I'm gonna be dead soon, man.
Don't you talk like that, you coward! Dying a warrior's death is the best thing that anyone can hope for. Like, this fucking nobody behind the counter, you don't want to be like him, serving drinks for the rest of your life.
And he just looks over at you.
Come here.
He just motions you over.
All right, I walk over to him.
Could you tell this fine sir how shitty your life is so that he doesn't have to live like you?
Points to the human at his left. The human at his left.
Excuse me, sir. Where do you come from?
I am a fucking soldier of...
Soldier of...
Sorry.
I am a fucking soldier of Dragon. A fucking Imperial soldier.
Yeah, what about your friend here? He's a soldier too?
We're in the same unit. Now, I didn't ask you over here to ask me questions. I want you to tell my friend here how he doesn't want to be where you are.
And this big human is just, it's like, you just notice it now. This is like around a 6'5" human, built, ready to go kind of thing.
And this is the guy who I'm talking.
Yeah. This is the guy that motioned you over. Whereas pointing to his friend, which is like 5'9", like still built, but kind of in a more like scrawny way. Like not like. Whereas the guy that's talking is like a bodybuilder. This guy is just pretty fit.
Okay. Yeah, you say my life's shitty. Well, I ask you this. What are you fighting for? You're fighting for valor, for glory?
He smiles.
I want to know.
Do you want to see what I'm fighting for?
Show me.
At this point, he just pushes the bar stool back, slams to the ground, and the tavern just stops. And everyone just looks at the two of you at the chance of that, like, now you're speaking my language.
God damn it.
And,
With my breath, I say fucking every night.
So, as this is happening, you're thinking back to, how you got here in the first place. And everything that came before, and how this wasn't what you pictured your life to be. And you thought back to where you learned probably the most valuable lesson that you had learned in the day that it happened. The wind slams into the mountainside. like a hammer on a shield. The cold air pumping through your lungs as you take one step, and then another, on the never-ending march. Your father, Chiron, puts his hands up and stands in silence before he says that this is where you'll make camp for the night. You make a fire in a crevasse tucked in the mountainside. Curl up to the flames, finding comfort in the warmth emanating from it. Chiron stands, tells you that he'll be back soon, and walks away. You think that this is your chance. A chance to show your father what you've learned. A chance to kill a beast on your own. And show him that you can take care of yourself. You grab your gear and step outside camp, on the hunt, thirsty for blood. So, as you step outside of the camp that you had made before, your 17-year-old younger self looking around. Oh shit, I completely forgot to put you on the right page. I had a view of the bar and everything. That was my bad. I got into it a little too fast. Shit. How the fuck am I gonna do this? Alright. Come on, go there. Go. There we go. See that?
I see. Oh, okay. So this is where we are now.
Yeah. I had a picture of a tavern that I was looking at, but I forgot to bring to you, so apologies.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
this is, again, why we're doing this. It's rough.
Fucking beautiful.
Mm-hmm. So, you step outside. The fire's still glowing from this little carved out part of the mountain where you set up camp. You look left and right. The fog is all around you. Gets particularly thicker the higher up you go, but it's still hard to see in front of you. You have all of your equipment. For brevity's sake, I'm going to say you have all of your equipment that you have at the start of the campaign.
Okay.
And you're on the hunt for a beast. What do you do?
All right. So, so this is the camp we've set out, right? For sleeping and such. Are we on like a trail or something?
There's no trail. Your father specifically has avoided trails, and that's why this journey is taking so long. He's avoiding roads and he's avoiding trails.
All right. Well, I mean, I look around about me, think about my father's training. The first thing I'm going to do is look for a source of, like, water or something that could sustain life, you know?
Okay.
So I start heading down the mountain, kind of towards, like, a valley-like area.
Okay. So, you walk out into this little kind of plateaued area that your camp is at. You climb a little over where you came from and start heading down the mountainside. The wind is blowing hard. It's no joke. It's cold. It's really moist out. Your face is sweating a cold sweat from the whole day's hike. You use your training and your nose specifically to look for a mountain spring that you've been surviving on for a few weeks now, as your father has taught you. You sniff, smell, trying to get that unique smell of groundwater that you can smell from like a few hundred yards away. As you're going down, nothing.
All right.
You're on the mountainside now. For every second, I'm just gonna say you're still walking down the mountainside.
Okay, but there's kind of like I can see around in front of me. Like, what do I see?
Well, as you're descending, you are walking into fog. It's really hard to see.
Okay.
And as such, it's kind of covering the scent of the spring as well, and that's what you're thinking. You're thinking like, oh, it's going to be really hard to find a spring with this thick of fog. Like this day is particularly bad. It's usually kind of foggy because of how high up you are, but it's particularly bad today.
Yeah, well, I keep going down the mountainside. Does it look any better below?
Well, you're over 10,000 feet up.
I'm really high up.
Yeah. But
okay.
And it doesn't take long before you walk down and you see a cliff's edge and you're cut off.
Oh. Okay. Okay. What do I see to my left and to my right?
So to your left and to your right, you kind of see like a jagged cliffside from where you were walking, and then to your right, same thing, except for it's kind of forming like a crescent style, and you look down, and it's a vertical drop into fog. You can't tell how deep it is, how far it goes.
Okay. Well, I turn right. I don't go completely. I'm not like walking the edge of the cliff, right? I'm a little bit away from the edge, but yeah, I turn right and start heading out that way.
Okay.
And I check again if I can smell any. I check like what I smell in the air.
Okay. Roll me perception. First roll of the day. So, you take a deep breath of the air all around you, and it's really hard to tell. You smell water, and you smell the gravel on the rocky mountainside that is to the right. To the right of you now, and it's really hard to tell, but it smells like a mountain smells like after it rains. Like, you know what I'm talking about. Like kind of like that muddy, but also
it's rain. It's recently rained here though.
No, it's just really damp. So it has that smell.
Okay.
And does not rain.
Yeah, well, I keep heading down the mountain. I keep my eyes open to the right of the mountain, I guess.
Okay. You walk
towards that crescent.
Okay, well, that's just the shape of the cliff side. So like, as in like, like the cliff is again like a crest, like it just curves like around.
Yeah.
It isn't long before you're curving back in, so like, kind of like if it was like a C like that, then you would be curving back into it again. So because you're walking along mountains, so you start walking back in after around 30 minutes, I'll say, of walking. It starts to curve back in, and yeah, as of now, you're 30 minutes out. Like you've been walking at a brisk pace.
Okay.
So, and for now, I'm going to introduce a new mechanic to you. There's 3 types of travel. First type of travel is as fast as humanly possible. When you are doing that, you take penalties to your perception. But you get there in around like 1/3 faster than you normally would with your movement speed. And you could do it like normal, which is around think like a walking pace, but like still going going like a good rate. And then you kind of like that. That's a good way to put it. And then you have careful, which pretty much means that you are like taking like one step, checking where you're stepping, looking around, which is by far the slowest. Like it cuts your movement speed by at least like 2/3, I'm pretty sure. Don't quote me on those numbers, but like you get the idea.
So I moved slower than half.
Yeah. So
Okay.
So how would you like to continue to travel, and what would you like to do?
So this crescent thing, it curves back in on itself, like there's a cliff. And then...
Yeah, so you're clearly on the edge of the mountain that you were on, and it's curving into another one.
Okay, it's just a different mountain. I'm like 30 minutes off.
Yeah, you've been walking for around 30 minutes.
Yeah. All right. No, I just continue to this next mountain at a walking pace, marching pace.
Okay. So you go in, and you what's your passive perception? One sec, I can actually look at that.
0.
Your passive perception is not 0. That's
is that just my...
Your passive perception, it's a whole nother thing.
Oh. Not my perception wisdom modifier.
No, yeah, your passive perception, it's one second, I'm just gonna look. Character sheet. Your passive perception is 10. It's at the very bottom, like it scales and then it's beneath that.
Oh, cool. Yeah, 10. I see that now. Thank you.
Okay, now that we're here, though, since you didn't know that was even a thing, I'm going to make sure that that's right. So, before we continue, so this is important. Perception, passive perception. It's 10 plus your wisdom modifier, so it's 10.
10.
Okay. Unless you have feet or skill. Yep. So it's 10.
I think it's just 10.
Yeah. So you notice rocks starting to slide in from above you, not like boulders, like little pebbles, like the kind of thing that would happen if someone was like stepping from above, and then like you see
Okay.
the pebbles going down and going off the cliff edge, and the sound of rolling rocks echoing throughout the mountainside.
Cool. I get down low, kind of start crouching. What is this cliff? I mean, is it like completely unclimbable above me?
Above you? No. Above you is an incline. Like to the right, to the left of you is a straight drop.
Okay. Cool. So I get down low and start climbing up to and around where the pebbles are coming from, kind of like not straight to them, but at an angle.
Okay.
Trying to get up to where where the pebbles are falling from.
All right. And again, this is to introduce you to this. So in this instance, as the DM, I would interpret that you go that at a normal pace if you do not specify otherwise. So
okay. And creeping just gives you bonus to perception. What does that do?
You can, if you, in this scenario, I would, since you're doing something, you are reacting to something specifically around you, instead of you, going at a slower pace, which gives you bonuses to, stealth and, perception, I would have you roll stealth if you wanted to go up there quietly.
Yeah, I do want to go up there quietly.
Exactly, and I figured that you would, but since you didn't say anything, I would have had you just walk up there like you normally would. So that's something to keep in mind.
So specify in the future.
Yeah, so like if you want to move somewhere, specify how you are moving there as well.
Okay.
Especially if you have something in mind, because otherwise I'm just going to assume you're walking there like normal.
So I'll refer to it as like creep or something?
So he's like, I would like to stealth here if you do not wish to be seen.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll say that.
Okay, roll me stealth. Okay, so you get down low, you put your hand on the side of the mountain and try to climb up, but these rocks are really loose, and every step that you take, your foot sinks down and more pebbles just go crashing down the cliffside. At that point, you're just like, oh, whatever, and you just start walking up. And I'm going to actually have you roll me just a straight dex.
Straight dex, okay.
Yeah, just straight dex.
So what's the difference between rolling dexterity and rolling a dex save? Like, it's just dex save is for like when you're being attacked or something.
Yeah, a dex save
Like
implies that you are trying to stop an effect.
Okay.
A check is simply seeing how well your character does.
And I roll advantage on
Okay, nat 20.
dex.
Oh, no, that's a 19. That's a 19.
Yeah.
But either way, you climb up that thing fast. You're going to the edge, and you don't let the loose rocks slow you down at all. You climb up, and you reach the top very quickly. I'm gonna say in around like 3 minutes, just moving really quickly up the edge. And you look down, and you see a kind of like a valley of rock. There are sharp pointed rocks all pointing around, like the picture you see here, except for it has a flat area in the center.
I don't see a picture right now.
It's the same picture.
Okay.
I was
picture.
describing the rock's point as if as it is in this picture. There are rocks pointed like that, all pointing toward a center clearing. The loose rocks stop facing the outside because you're on the top. So down here is where you came from, and down here is where the pointed rocks and the flat space is. And on this side you have loose rocks, and on this side it just gets solid, like there are boulders that you can stand on. Clearly.
Okay.
But it's a little less of an incline, like there's a rock here and a rock there. But it's basically a vertical descent down. But you can you can climb down with a little finesse by either jumping from rock to rock, but it's no longer an incline.
It's no longer an incline, it's vertical?
Yeah, except for there's rocks sticking out of the ground.
Okay.
So like you can take a step onto one of these rocks, and there's a bunch of these things all around you, all leading down into the valley below.
Okay. Can I see anything like from the peak I'm at? Can I see like the other sides of the peak?
Roll me perception. You see a silhouette of the other side of where you're standing. A silhouette of the other, I'm going to call it a saddle. That's the word. Of the other saddle from the other side of you. And you see silhouettes of rocks beneath you, since the fog is still very dense.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna hop from rock to rock, check out the valley beneath.
Okay. Roll me acrobatics. You jump down, no problem. You see where you need to step. There are a few times where you land, you're like, ugh, and then but you're fine. And you go all the way down to the clearing.
Yeah.
Okay, so you jump, like focusing on where you're landing, and then you land on the ground with a thud. The ground is back to that loose, gravelly kind of feel. Like, not exactly... Like, there's dirt, like, in between it, but it's like... It's more really... Like, it's more a pebble. Like a ground that's full of pebbles.
Yeah, okay.
Like, as in, like, rocks have been, like, shattered over and over and over and over and over again, and have all just gathered into this one clearing. And, like, you land there, so it's as if you're stepping on loose gravel. You can hear that crunching sound when you land. And, you look up, and you are now in the center valley, and you hear ahead of you a little bit of shifting in the rocks.
Okay. I once again try and stealth down, and head kind of around and towards, like, perpendicularly to get a better view of the shifting ahead.
Okay, so roll me stealth. So you get down best you can, trying your best not to make any noise, and you try to get a look at where the noise came from. All you see are boulders, but you could have sworn that this is where the sound came from.
Okay. And I have all my regular I have all my equipment on me, right?
Yes.
Do
correct.
I see any sort of vantage points, like rocks that are kind of like looking over the valley?
All around you, there are these rocks sticking out from the side of the inclines leading down, except for, like, they're not in, the walls all around you to get a better look. But climbing up to these would be a little harder than it was climbing down.
So I take a look around and, like, make note of the easiest kind of, like, movement routes, you know, things that people could approach from, things that I could use to escape to. Taking note of all the rocks, and I look then to see if I see any trails down beneath me from where the rustling was. I get down low and kind of, after looking around me, get a little closer and look for approach while also looking for trails, etc.
Okay, so if you're looking for tracks, that's survival. So roll me a survival check.
Okay.
So you see a distinct, kind of as if something was pushed aside, except for it's really wide. Like, there is... It's not like paw marks or anything like that, but it's like something was dragged.
Okay. I ready my bow. Do I see any, like, big boulders around? Something like... where... Like,
you continue to walk forward throughout this time, right?
Yeah, I'm walking, so I see a track, right? And I can kind of, you know, it's got a start and it's got a finish. I can pick a direction, follow it. I ready my bow, I'm getting low. And I look, do I see any, like, big boulders or something? Something that could, like...
Yeah, there's big boulders all over the place.
Okay, specifically along this track is what I mean. I'm looking for...
So along the track.
Yeah, no, I see, like, you see, beneath me I see a bunch of rocks that have been, like, pushed out of the way as if something was being dragged, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, you know, maybe a boulder fell over and just pushed a bunch of rocks. I don't know.
Oh, I see. No, nothing like that.
Okay.
Because that would be more of a dent. Like, something was sliding across this thing.
Okay. Yeah, I ready my bow and pick a direction, say, like, left, and go a little. I follow this track, go a little bit away from, like 20 feet away from it, about, and follow it.
Okay. So 20 feet is a little too far. It's a little more tight than that.
Okay.
But I'm gonna say like you go to the rock's edge, trying to make yourself part of the environment and trying to remain stealthy. First of all, I'm gonna have you roll a stealth check for that. Let's see how it goes. You just barely, you slam to the side, but not before, like, something like hits you on the side of the shoulder. You're like, ow! And then, and you are now on the edge of the valley side to your left.
Okay.
And like if you're like back against the wall like this is toward the tracks. This is away from it. So you're scooting left.
Okay.
Following the tracks, keeping an eye out. And you see it's slowly getting narrower and narrower and narrower. And the drag marks kind of go narrow with it. And then there's this narrow entryway that you can squeeze through, and the drag marks kind of narrow into that and go through it.
Okay, well, the first thing I do is I take a piece of gravel. I mean, okay, my father's a hunter in this area, right? Surely he's talked about, like, some sort of the various tracks, etc.
Absolutely he has. Go ahead and roll me history with advantage.
Okay.
He has taught you you remember him talking for hours and hours and hours as you've been walking. You've been in these mountains for a while, though sometimes, you're zoning out because you're so tired, but you try your best to listen. And one of these talks, you remember him talking about tracks and the animals and the elementals that live in this mountainside. And this is clearly a earth elemental track. It fits his description perfectly.
Okay, what do I know about earth elementals?
You know that they are burly. You know that they use physical force in their defense. You know that they can vanish into the earth at will. And you know that they are not very smart.
Okay, good to know. Wait, what? So when I threw myself into the wall, that was like I just hit a rock or something, right?
Yeah, like if something just pricked you.
Okay. I try and stealth, but I get punched. What punched me?
No, it was like the side is like at this point, it is all solid rock. Like it is a jagged cliff side. So it's just you slammed into it. It just kind of pierced your skin a little bit, little scratch, okay. Nothing much.
So from this little hole,
it's like a little gap. It's like that. And if my two hands are the sides of the cliff, like you can fit through it, and then then you see that it opens up again, but it's just a little thing that's happening right now.
I take a rock and throw it in there.
Okay. You look around for a good sizable, like baseball-sized rock.
From as far as I can manage to.
You take a step. Like how far specifically?
Wait, when you say it's like, I can't tell how. Can you reference how wide it is?
Okay, it is
like
around. It is around. Like a foot and a half wide.
Oh, okay.
Like you can squeeze through it, but it's not. But it's going to be cozy.
Yeah. I throw a rock in there from like 8 feet away.
Okay, so you back
Like
up.
a little more than a person length.
Okay, so you take a step back, pick up a rock, you throw it in, you hear it tumble, 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 and then rest, and you do hear something shift on the other side.
Mm-hmm.
And then the rock comes rolling back to you.
Uh-huh. I take a 2 steps back and throw it back in as hard as I can.
So you throw it back in, and then you hear this low guttural. And then it echoes all throughout the slowly getting narrower valley, and then nothing.
Okay. I have my swords. I have a bow.
Go ahead and look at your equipment if you need a refresher.
Yeah. Okay. What do I have like a rope and things in my dungeoneering pack.
Correct. And again, for the sake of brevity, anything that you use will not, any consumable that you use will be restored to you on when the campaign with the actual group.
Okay.
So you can keep that in mind.
I'm going to lay a trap, stealthily at the outside of that hole.
Okay. Describe this trap to me.
No, I have a hunting trap. It's a chain with it's like a bear trap.
I see. Okay. You just lay it down at the entrance.
I tie it to the biggest boulder. Yeah, I can.
Okay, so describe
everything around here is rock.
Yeah, describe the mechanism to me.
Hunting traps. It's literally a large bear trap with a chain that can be chained to anything nearby. If something sets it off, it gets stuck into place and it has to succeed a strength save of like 10 in order to get out, I think.
Okay.
And they can't. It's like a 10-foot radius or something to chain.
Okay, go, Okay, you do that. You set it up, just the trap itself, lay it out front. No problem.
Okay. And, what kind of... do I see, like, along the walls, do I see, like, a series of rocks that can be hopped between pretty easily?
It's still got that whole sideways stalagmite look, but they're fat, they're thick, and it's gonna be hard to climb up there right around now. But there are some cracks in the wall that you could attempt to climb up, but again, it'd be tricky, and it would definitely take it would take some time and skill to climb up that. Like you couldn't do it quickly.
Well, I find the highest ground close to me that's still even footing, like a rock or something.
Okay.
And I loose an arrow into this little crack.
All right. So before you do that, I'm going to go ahead and have you roll me acrobatics. Roll me acrobatics.
Okay.
So you climb up, you put your foot in this little crack zone, and you try to crack climb Spetsnaz style like your dad taught you. You slip, and then you fall on your back, and you take 1 point of bludgeoning damage.
Okay. Hey, 1 second.
All right. You good?
Sorry, I'm good.
Yeah,
Good to go, yeah.
All right. You take 1 point of bludgeoning damage, and then, you're like, god damn it. You get back up with revived vigor, and you climb up to the top.
Okay. Cool. And now I loose an arrow into this little crack.
Okay. Take out an arrow. Fire. You feel the earth around you shift. Kind of like a mini earthquake kind of thing. Like everything starts to rumble before you see this gigantic shape pop up in the distance. Like if the gap that you shot in was to your left, a new shrouded shape appears probably around 20 feet to your right.
Okay. And this is in the valley.
Still. Yes, correct.
Okay.
And it is moving. It is looking around.
Yeah, well, that's my mark, man. That's what I'm going for. Hey, what's this out of character? What are your rules for like weapon swapping and stuff?
So long as combat hasn't started yet, do it as you like.
Because you apparently unsheathing, like even in combat, apparently unsheathing something doesn't take a turn, but sheathing something, you can perform one action with your extra action, right?
This is correct if your character has bonus actions.
Yeah. So like, well, everyone has one bonus action.
But it needs. Yeah, I guess that does fit within the criteria. There are special exceptions, but in general, you cannot change weapons without some kind of preparation while in combat. So
yeah, like
it would cost an action or a bonus action, or maybe movement if you could describe it to me, and yeah, so on and so forth.
But it could cost a bonus action to switch weapons.
It could.
Okay.
It all depends. For instance, if you needed to.
So you say this thing is like 20 feet away?
Yeah, 20 feet to your right, looking around, confused.
I get down and I use my perception to look for some sort of like weak point in it.
All right.
Examine my enemy.
Okay. I would say that. I mean, yeah, you can certainly try. Go ahead. Roll me perception.
Perception. You can certainly try. That doesn't sound good.
So you look at this shape, and it has this faint glow coming from its body, so it's kind of illuminated a little bit. It's not much to go on, but you can definitely see that it has these gaps, but these rocks seem to fall and be picked up kind of at will. It doesn't seem like he has a well-established core. However, you do see glowing from his insides, which could be a weakness.
Okay. Interesting.
Other than that,
this thing
he's just
looks
a bunch
kind
of
of
rocks.
dangerous. And obviously, it's definitely solidly in its environment. Can I see anything nearby with like fewer rocks? Like we're in a gravel clearing, right? It's rocks everywhere.
Yeah.
There's nowhere that's just like solid rock without.
The cliffside that you're on.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And is there? I can't climb up higher, or can I?
You can certainly try.
How far is the top of the mountain?
The top of the mountain is probably around 50 feet above you. The drop that you would be below you probably goes around 15 feet down.
50 feet, you said? 50 feet above me?
Yes, 50 feet above you.
Okay. Yeah, no, I, 15 feet, that's not bad. I notch my next arrow and take a look. I aim for the cracks in the rocks, kind of in the center of this body. And that's what I aim for. That's what I shoot for.
Okay.
And immediately after firing, I duck behind I duck underneath this spike, right? Try and break line of sight.
Okay, I'm gonna have you roll me stealth first, and then I'm gonna have you roll for an attack.
Okay.
So 2d20s, except for one's for stealth, and one is with the bow, and you add your dex modifier and your proficiency bonus to that roll.
Yeah. So I roll stealth, and then I roll my bow attack.
Yeah.
Okay.
You stealth successfully, no problem.
So wait, no. For my longbow, I roll once to see if I hit, right?
Correct. You roll. Yeah, you roll a d20 and add your proficiency and your dex modifier to that roll.
I think it's set up so I just have to click the longbow button.
Try it. Longbow +3. Either way, you
16. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's plus my proficiency plus
Okay.
the longbow.
Yeah. Go ahead and roll for damage.
Okay. Can I roll? Do I? Okay. That just does that. I see if there's just an easy way to roll damage.
19.
No, that's not my damage. That's my attack.
Yeah.
My actions.
Yeah, but you already rolled that.
Yeah, I'm trying to see if there's an easy way, or if I have to use the dice thing.
Okay.
I'm just gonna use the dice thing.
Yeah. Go ahead. Take your time. 8, and then add your dex and your proficiency to the attack as well.
Okay. My dex modifier.
Yes.
Okay, so that would be +1. I add proficiency.
Yeah, you add your proficiency. You are proficient in the longbow.
Doesn't that just increase the attack and not the damage?
If you are proficient in a weapon, you add the proficiency to your attack rolls as well as your to hit rolls.
The attack and the to hit are the same thing.
No, because to hit you roll a d20. To attack, it says roll 1d10 or 1d8.
Okay, so you add it to the damage and the...
Yeah. So you roll it and then you add your dex, since it's a dexterity-based weapon, and then
11.
you add your proficiency. Okay.
11 damage.
So you take a step back, you fire, your arrow flies through, sinks into this thing, and goes directly in between the cracks. It makes this low gurgle, like kind of like more of like a confused sound, and then kind of like scratches at it, kind of like it's like right on its shoulder, but it can't quite reach it, and then it just like changes its shape, and the arrow falls out broken. You dealing what did you say, 13? 13? We said it was your attack
11.
roll? 11. And it clearly wasn't as effective as you thought it would be, but you still hit it.
Well, shit. That's all I got, Doctor.
But it hasn't noticed you yet.
True. Damn. I'm gonna check what's in my my backpack real quick.
Okay, go ahead.
Here's back. This is a going to be a tough fight. So it looks like I have a backpack, a crowbar, a hammer, 10 pitons. Don't know what that is. Some torches, a tinderbox, rations, and rope, and a water skin. So just like general supplies.
Mm-hmm.
A pittance for climbing. Interesting.
Yes, and you rolled a. Okay, yeah, you're still in. But at this point, it is looking your direction where the arrow hit it from.
Yeah, interesting. Where the rocks near me? I'm standing on one of the spike things, right?
Mm-hmm.
Are there any other spikes within? How many other spikes are within jumping distance?
There's to your left is where that narrow gap was, so that's like a wall. And to your right, there is one that's real sketchy, like maybe, but it's hard to tell how far it is. It's doable, but it's sketchy. It's a little beneath you.
To my left.
Yeah, to your right. To your left.
To my right. Towards the monster. Towards the
towards
elemental.
the monster. Yeah. I mean, my bad. It is to your right. Yeah, because the thing's to your left, rock's to your right. Yes.
So it's away from it.
No, it's towards
and
it. The wall is to your left, elemental's to your right.
Okay. And I'm pretty sure elementals can just go through like any rock, pretty much. They can just travel through the earth.
Correct.
And this other spike is lower to the ground.
Yeah, it's slightly lower, it's like less than a foot lower, but it's slightly lower, and it's doable, but it's sketchy. It's real sketchy.
Okay, the first thing I do from under stealth, do I see any like big loose boulders along the line?
Absolutely, above, like on the top, you see a ton just hanging out, like just sitting at the top that could potentially be pushed over. It's hard to tell if they're loose from here, but
they look precarious, maybe.
Yeah,
kinda.
Yeah.
Interesting. And this is the 50-foot climb to the top.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I look for the loosest boulder within firing distance. My bow is 60 feet, I think. No, wait, that would be directly above me. I'm not doing that. Damn. And this cliff is pretty sketchy.
Yeah, it's practically vertical for all intents and purposes. It's vertical.
Okay.
But it's a rock face, so it's climbable. It's a hard climb.
So there are rocks higher than me I could climb to.
Correct.
But the elemental is looking in my direction.
Correct.
Yeah, I'm gonna stealth climb to the next. How close is the next highest rock?
The next highest rock would be slightly to the right of you, and that's around 15 feet up.
Okay.
So, like, around 10 feet up, you would begin to break the line of sight.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and stealth climb up to that rock.
Okay, roll me stealth with disadvantage because he's looking directly at you.
Fair enough.
So, you climb up, and then roll me acrobatics.
With disadvantage?
No.
I mean, I did.
Just normal. And 18 was the first one. So you climb up, I guess, as quietly as you possibly can, and then, you pull yourself up, look back down to the elemental. The elemental's gone.
Uh-huh. But I'm on the rock right now.
You're on the rock.
And my trap is down beneath me.
Yeah.
Okay, first thing I do is switch from my bow to my swords.
Okay, so put back your bow, and you take out both your swords?
Yeah.
All right.
And,
okay.
And get as far I stand away from the rock face and kind of brace myself against the ground.
Okay.
I stand firm, brace myself, and I have my swords ready.
Okay. So, you take out your swords. You look at the rock face, ready to go. Then you look above you. You hear something above you, and you see the elemental just peering down at you with his bright yellow eyes. And then shoves a rock down from above, and it begins to tumble toward you. Go
Oh,
ahead.
fucking hell.
Go ahead and roll me acrobatics.
Normally, okay.
Normally. Actually,
I was gonna do that.
I'll have you roll with advantage because you prepped yourself. So like you were ready to react.
Acrobatics?
Yeah, with advantage.
Okay.
Yeah, so this thing starts tumbling down, slams into this rock that you're standing on. You're like, oh crap! And then you duck down, like hold on to the edge as this rock tumbles down and slams into the valley beneath you. Get back up, look above, and it's still looking back down at you, like, and it's getting ready to throw something else at you. Go ahead and roll initiative.
Okay. And for all intents and purposes, my health is back to level 1 from where I started, kind of.
You have 1 less health since bludgeoning damage.
True.
When you
That's
fell.
right. I don't actually. No, wait. It was 10 when I started, so now it's 9.
Your max health is only 10? I thought you leveled up.
Oh, I'm level 2 now.
Yeah, you leveled up. Remember,
Cool.
I said to level up, and you were supposed to roll a hit dice for everything.
Yeah, no, but I was wondering because this is a memory. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know. You're still level 2. You're still level 2. Everything on your character sheet that you've made is true.
Okay, so I have 15 health then.
Yes. Okay.
Oh, interesting. That actually that adds. Interesting. Cool.
I'm sorry that I did not communicate that better.
Where do I roll initiative?
There should be an initiative button on your character sheet.
Class. It's not inspiration. Do I just roll dexterity?
No, you roll initiative. It's an entirely different roll.
Should help me look because I can't find it.
Okay. So, see your little initiative thing. Armor class, speed, initiative is in the middle.
Oh, there it is. Found it. Thank you.
Okay, you rolled 12. Rolls. Okay, you're up first.
So I climbed up to this rock that I'm on now, right? It's
Yes.
like 15 feet above the last rock.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of direct, 15 feet.
You climbed
It's like
up.
3 people.
Yeah, it was 15 feet above, and it was about 50 feet, so the elemental is around 35 feet above you now.
I'm considering jumping down to the rock beneath me. You know, it's like 15 feet beneath me. I'm hanging down. That's probably like
15
that's
feet.
probably like 6
15
feet.
feet drops, no joke, but doable.
Yeah, but I'm hanging down, so now it's just 10 feet.
Yeah. Okay, I'd accept that. Yeah.
Yeah. So I want to drop down there. Put a little swing into it, land.
Okay. So you do that?
Yeah.
Okay. Push off. Try to land the rock beneath you easily enough. Go ahead and roll me acrobatics on the landing. Yeah, it's with a good amount of hurt in your ankles because it's a kind of it has
Okay.
this fine layer of pebbles on top, so you shudder a little bit, but you land. You're now on the rock. I'll consider that half your movement
Okay.
because you were descending.
And this thing is above me. It's rolling boulders down. Checking my spells. Oh, there's some things I could have done. You know,
And you drop, so it is now again 50 feet above you.
yeah. Sorry, I'm reading what my spells do.
Now's the time to do that, because again, if we're in a group setting and everyone is doing this, no.
Yeah.
So this is the session to do that.
I know, like... Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to loose an arrow.
Okay.
Back up.
Yeah.
Yeah, at the elemental.
Okay. Go ahead and roll to hit.
The more I do this, the faster I'll get it.
Yeah, exactly. That was with advantage.
Yeah, just give me the 13.
Yeah, 13, and then that already added your dex and proficiency?
Yeah.
Okay, so you fire, and it just zooms past it.
Okay. I have half my movement.
Yeah, you have half your movement remaining, and you have a bonus action if you should choose to use it in some way.
Okay. Well, I will cast Hunter's
Mark?
Hunter's Mark, yeah.
All right,
On this dude.
you can absolutely do that as a bonus action.
Okay.
Future reference: Hunter's Mark is a great thing to cast first, because a Hunter's Mark is your bread and butter.
Okay. Actually, I'm shooting you. I switched from my swords to my bow to shoot an arrow. So I was thinking.
That's actually really true. And you did drop with your swords. That's good to note for me. I'm gonna let it go because I didn't catch it. So
Yeah.
and that's
I was thinking that would count as my bonus action.
That's my responsibility. Because you know what? Because you were honest, I'll allow it. Go ahead. Okay, so you cast Hunter's Mark and you have half your movement remaining.
Cool. I'm like 15 feet. I'm still 15 feet from the ground. I have to climb down. Yeah, no, I just You can choose to dodge attacks, but I think that counts as your main move. Just increases your AC or something.
Yeah, choosing to dodge is an action.
Okay.
Unless you have a skill that makes it not that way, but you do not.
Yeah, I huddle on my rock, on the kind of like on the edge of it.
Okay.
But still with enough room to maneuver.
All right, and that's your turn. And that's it. Your turn is done.
Yeah, that's my turn.
Okay, so
Do I have to roll for hunters?
No, Hunter's Mark. Hunter's Mark is fine. Like if the only thing you ever have to roll for Hunter's Mark is if you try to do it undetected. So like if you're like in like a crowded place, and because I think you need to do like hand symbols. Like is it just like what are the?
I think it's a voice thing.
Okay, so it's voice and hands, because I know that hands is part of it. So if you want to do that stealthily, then you roll for it. But other than that, it's an automatic hit. So this big, glooming thing just looks down at you, and slams its fists into the ground, setting a bunch of rocks tumbling down towards you. Go ahead and roll me acrobatics.
This is badass. I like it.
So these rocks come tumbling down, and with the wave of rocks, like you try to stumble out of the way, but it isn't long before one hits you, throws you off, and sends you tumbling to the ground. Luckily, the rock doesn't land on you. You just hit the ground, and the rest of the rocks just come tumbling down. Nothing too big, nothing to really worry about. However, you do take 2 points of bludgeoning damage,
leaving me at 13. Yeah.
Okay. And with that, it's your turn.
Hey, so I've got this old hit points from the sail over that left me at 11. I'm gonna write this.
You're at max hit points now.
Yeah, but for the next, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna write that down for the next game, and I'm gonna set my hit points to the current one.
I'd strongly recommend you have something to write notes down, because I'm gonna give you names. I'm gonna give you things that you're gonna forget. You just have a D&D notebook to remember things by, just in the future.
Okay.
Okay, and it's your turn again.
Cool. And I am now on the ground.
You are now prone. Correct.
Yeah, so I get up.
And you have.
Did I fall all the way down, or just onto the spire thing that I'm on?
You fell all the way down to the ground. So that was a 15-foot fall. So, you didn't take any damage from the rock. However, you did take damage from the fall.
Makes sense. Okay, I'm gonna loose another arrow up at this guy.
Okay, roll the hit. Uh, 13. You fire, and again, clear miss. Does not find its mark.
Okay. Yeah, Hunter's Mark is apparently only vocal.
Okay, cool. Well then, that's worth noting. Thank you.
I was checking. I'm checking, like, it's a concentration thing, so I'm checking when that is.
Yeah.
But I didn't hit.
Yeah, you didn't.
And now I start walking towards my trap.
Okay, so you start walking toward the wall that you came from. You reach it before your movement's done.
Interesting. I orientate myself so that the trap is close to me, between the monster and I.
It's above you, so that's going to be kind of hard.
Wait, it's directly above me?
Yeah, it's still above you, looking down.
And it's above the trap too.
It is above the trap.
Oh, so I get away from the wall is what I do.
So you're cornering yourself into the back wall.
No, I get away from the wall.
Okay, so you're getting away from the wall that leads into the narrow passageway, or are you getting away from the wall on the cliff's edge? Which wall are you getting away? Because it's really narrow right now. Kind of everything's a wall except for the way you came. Except you could go. You could go into the narrow passageway, I guess, but like ahead of you is a cliffside. Behind you is a cliffside. To the right is a narrow is the narrow passageway. To the left is where you came from.
Okay, yeah, and to the left where I came from, that's kind of open.
Yeah,
it's like an open area,
yeah,
right?
It's open.
Yeah, no, I head that way.
Okay.
And can I pick up my trap? Bonus
you can certainly try.
I try to pick up my trap.
Okay, roll me dex. Okay, so with you set up this thing to detonate, so getting this thing out quickly is kind of
rocket it or something.
Is kind of a hard thing to do, but you undo the parts that are necessary that make it go limp, and then you tap something and it snaps, but you take your hand out just barely in the time. You're like dink, and it just snaps, just barely not getting your hand. You now
I'd be ashamed of myself if I failed my own trap.
You now have a trap.
Okay, yeah, now I head towards the open space.
Okay, you get a little further back, further than where you started from.
Okay, and that's the end of my turn.
Yeah. The rock elemental above you goes into the ground and is nowhere to be seen, and that's its turn.
Okay. So I head. Yeah, no, I head kind of into the clearing, not like far enough away from the wall that the thing couldn't like grab me, or like no rocks could fall away from me.
Okay, so you just go back where you came from, pretty much, just your entire movement.
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't realize that the crack was like. I go back to where I came from.
Okay.
And
you still have an action and a bonus action if you think of a way to use it.
True. I can dodge. That can be my action.
You can ready. Yeah.
Yeah. I choose to remain evasive. Prep myself. And that's
right.
and I draw my swords. I draw my swords too.
Okay. Okay, that's fair. So you ready yourself. What's your movement speed?
20 feet. 30 feet? 30 feet.
30. Okay. All right. You still can't see this thing.
Okay.
But you feel the ground beneath you tremble.
Okay. I can stealth right now. It can. I can try.
You can certainly try.
Okay. I feel the ground beneath me trembling. I lay the trap directly at my feet. I lay the trap right in front of me from where the golem is.
Yeah.
And as gingerly as I can, take like 2 steps back.
Okay, so go ahead and roll me dex to set the trap.
Okay. Oh, that was a save.
That was a save. But,
so just subtract.
That's a
17.
That's a 17. I mean, it's either way. You set that trap immediately, like almost like spontaneously. Just chink, place it down.
To be fair, he's probably pretty terrified. All that adrenaline's got to be going somewhere.
Yeah. And you back away, and you ready yourself.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. And that's your turn.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Now it springs up exactly from where you were standing. Its arms grabbing, and how does your trap work?
It is a bear trap. It's a bear trap with a chain on it, and it's a very large one, apparently.
Okay, so damage. How does it work?
Let me look it up. It roots whatever it catches. Within like a 10 feet radius. Hunting trap. Here it is. It does 1d4 piercing damage. Its save is dexterity.
Okay, so that's dex.
And a creature has to use a DC 13 strength check in order to get out of it. Each time they fail, it does 1 damage.
Okay, dex save. What's your what's its save? Does it say?
If you step on it, you must succeed.
What's the number?
13 dexterity.
Okay.
Trigger.
Okay. It fails. Go ahead and roll for damage. Okay, so as it goes up, it sort of one arm in front of the other tries to reach and grab you, and it goes above and somehow or another grasps this chain, and then it slams down on its arm, dealing 2 points of
Piercing
damage. Okay. It sort of like just starts shaking it, like being like, what is this thing? Because it is an elemental without any legs or anything, I'm going to say that it is not rooted exactly, but it is kind of perturbed that its hand was hit by this thing. Yeah, and in the future, I would definitely say that that's like if this were in a group session, I probably would say that like it has no status effects, but because again this is a learning experience, I'm going to say that it uses its action to get this thing off of it, and it is
okay.
What does it have what's the save again?
So it has a 13 dexterity save for whether or not it activates it.
Yeah.
And then and then another 13 in order to get out of it.
Yeah.
So it doesn't get out of it until it.
Okay. Nat 20. It just flicks and then it just flies off of it. It is now your turn.
Okay. And this thing is right in front of me.
Yeah, this thing is now probably less than a foot away from you.
All right. So that glowing part. Yeah, I stab its. I try and aim for a crack. I stab its glowing center.
Okay,
That's what I aim for.
Go ahead and roll the hit. Okay, roll for damage.
D8 plus piercing. Wait, no. 1d6 plus piercing, that's right.
So,
Wait, plus 2 proficiency.
And strength.
And strength, so that would be 6.
Okay, so you slam into it. This thing, like, pink, you hit it, and then it sort of, like, bounces back with all your force. And again, it sort of, like, looks down at you, being like, and just doesn't, and, like, trying to convey to you, but, like, you sense annoyance. And,
Okay,
and you still have your movement.
yeah, and a bonus move. That was just my okay. One of my cantrips is Tomorology, which allows me. One of the things it does is
And that's a bonus action? Because your action was to attack. If the cantrip does not distinctly say that it is a bonus that you can be used as a bonus action, generally speaking, it cannot.
Okay. Yeah, all right. You meant you create. Yeah, it doesn't. All right, I'll accept that. So for my bonus action, I just stab with my second sword.
That's more of a second attack. That's more 2 actions.
No, that's how I'm dual wielding swords.
Okay.
So
I guess this is good for me
when you're dual wielding a weapon, your second you can attack with both, but your second one causes as your bonus action.
Huh. You can't.
And what happens? You don't get your proficiency bonus. You don't get your stat bonus.
Yeah. Okay. Go ahead and roll a hit then. You slam into.
That's.
I mean, it's not with advantage anyway, but
Yeah.
But it was a 13, without any bonuses. You slam into it, not realizing that you hit it with the dull side as it just bounces back again.
Okay. Run away!
Okay, you use all your movement speed to run.
Run away! Yeah.
Okay, as you do this, you hear footsteps.
Oh no! Wait, no, I forgot. There's attacks of advantage. No, so I don't want to do that.
Okay. So you're still in front of it. Because, yeah, if you turn away, then he does get an attack of opportunity.
Yeah, no, I just brace myself.
Okay. So,
That look said, "You idiot! What are you doing?"
okay, let me see here. He has now got you right in front of him. He's gonna raise both of his arms up and hit you with a slam attack. I'll even roll for you. He fucking slams down, and your AC is 11, right?
No, 15.
How the
I have
fuck is
armor.
your Oh, do you have scale? Like, yo, you're the one with like scalebound armor or some shit like that. Yeah. That would do it. Either way, he goes down, kind of like scrapes off your armor a little bit, but just hits the ground beneath him, and he leaves a fucking gigantic crater where it stood.
You said scrapes off my arm, and my heart skipped a beat. And you said I was like, oh, thank goodness. Is that the end of its turn?
Yeah, and that's all of its turn. Its hand is now kind of full two hands down to the ground. Its hands are now in the ground, just having missed you. And it's at this point that you start hearing footsteps trailing and echoing through, and you see Chiron, your father, looking at your situation.
Okay.
And then it's like,
how far away?
What the hell are you doing, boy?
How far away is he?
He has just gone around a bend, and he's probably around 15 feet away from you. He's actually up next. He takes out his sword, and it starts pulsing with lightning. Get down! And he's going to use a unique action. Let's see, how's this work? Okay, he's gonna roll the hit. Okay. His sword starts pulsating with lightning energy, and everything around him starts, those Halloween balls that you put your hands on, and then the electricity starts going towards your fingertips. The cliffs all around start pulsating with electric energy, all going toward this weapon as he swings up, and the sword starts glowing in this bright energy, and he swings, and this ball of twirling energy, think Ganon from Ocarina of Time style, lands and smacks against this thing's body, and wait, no, didn't mean to do that. So it's gonna take... Wow. Okay. That is a very shitty roll.
Damn it, Dad. You're all hype and no action.
And that's gonna take... so that's 4 plus 5. Okay, plus his dex. Okay, easy math, 9. Okay, it slams and the electricity just pulsates throughout this thing's body, and it lets out a blood roar as your dad, Chiron just... he's dad to you, but he's Chiron to me. As Chiron just...
Okay.
Just makes get over here, you fool! It's now your turn.
Okay. I want to use my bonus action to disengage from this guy.
You do that.
Okay. And, but first I stab him.
That's a little much. Wait. So
I get 2 actions.
You
Come on, man.
You get 2 actions? I get.
Well, no, you get a bonus action. And
I'm starting to think you're pulling my leg on this whole bonus on how good this bonus action is. I'm saying. Okay, let me look up disengaging in this game real quick.
It could actually be a full action.
Yeah, like to my knowledge, I think disengaging is on a bonus action and move through. Oh wait, disengage is bonus. What's the correct way? Disengage.
Oh.
Okay, yeah, it's a bonus action. You can do that. So you hit it first. Go ahead and roll the hit. It misses horribly.
Okay. And I disengage and run towards my dad. 30 feet.
Okay. And it's now the golem's turn. It is pulsating from this energy. It is shocked, it is shivering. It is immune to that. It like shakes it off, but it is hurting and is bellowing, and it starts to charge at Chiron. Just goes directly past you, kind of like melds into the wall a little bit, and slams down. And he just moves away from it with grace. Chiron just sort of looks at you and notices that this thing is now between you and it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to...
So it went like underneath me?
Yeah. So, he is now going to... he swings at it and it moves to the side, and he's going to use his...
The music is slightly louder than your voice.
Oh yeah, I'm being way too quiet. Thank you. Okay, and he's going to swing again. Misses yet again. So he swings once, swings twice, and this thing is just moving out of the way, and then roars at his face. You now have him considered flanked because you were behind him, and he's looking.
What does that do?
He was looking at your flanking bonus. You get a +2 for all of your rolls.
Interesting. How far away is the Earth Elemental?
It is pretty much right in front of you.
Oh. And it's facing my dad.
Yeah.
I'm gonna hit him with both of my swords.
Okay. Go ahead and roll d20 twice.
And remember, I have Hunter's Mark on him.
Yeah, you do have Hunter's Mark on him. So,
plus linking.
That's 13. Both of those do miss. And you keep on trying to hit it. You're doing your very best, but you're starting to think that maybe this thing was stronger than you gave it credit for.
Yeah.
And Hunter's Mark doesn't give any bonuses other than damage, right?
It gives you bonuses to tracking and like perception or something.
Okay.
It's actually, I wrote down all this spell information.
Yeah.
Nothing combat related though.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure it gives you bonuses upon hit, but it doesn't give you bonuses other than that.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. It is now
bonuses to perception and survival checks.
Okay.
Against the thing.
All right, and it really doesn't. It does nothing for combat.
It gives you the bonus damage.
Okay, that's what I was thinking. I thought it gave you bonus damage. Okay, anyway, let's keep this ball rolling. So Chiron is gonna make 2 slashing attacks against it yet again.
Hey, wait! I get to move.
Oh yeah, you get to. Yeah, it's true. Would you like to take a move?
How far away is my dad?
He is between you and it, but it's like less than 5 feet away. But there's a gigantic elemental between you and him.
Okay, well I back up like 5 feet. Then
right.
I end my turn.
Okay. All right. So he takes up a sword, slashes, and the first one hits. The second one does not. And here uses his strength. Because I mean, this weapon is new to me. Apologies. 3, 6. Okay, 1d6 lightning damage plus a d. Okay, 1d6. 2 strength, which is so it cuts into it, and again this thing surges with an electrical pulse, and it's fucking not digging it. Those blows are taking it fucking heavy toll. 242, and the earth elemental is fucking tired of this shit, and it just dips out. With your hunter's mark, you see it going back into the crevice.
Okay. And now it's my turn.
Yeah, now it's your turn.
I look toward my dad and tell him, straight to his face, it's going towards the crevice, and I point with my arm towards the crevice, right?
All right. On that, he after you tell him that, is like, good, stay back, and then he goes like running toward it with his sword, and that's his. That's I mean, again, it's still your turn, so.
Yeah, and this crack is like less than a movement thing away.
Yeah.
I ready my bow and get a good angle for shooting into the crack.
Okay. Okay, so he kind of
also preferably an angle that wouldn't shoot my dad.
Okay, so and it's now your dad's turn. He's going to use his movement to go through the crack. The elemental is like, it comes up beneath him. It's kind of hard to see what's going on. However, he is going to take 2 more swings. 17. Oh! So the first hit, you can see his body pulsate with this electric surge again as he cuts into this thing, dealing... Yeah, that's going to do quite a bit. Okay, as he hits this thing the first time, it just, again, lets out this bellowing roar that sends like that everything around you starts to rumble and shake and shift. You can see him and the elemental, but it's really, it's fucking rough. Like, it's just barely visible. If any of them move just slightly closer to the edges, you wouldn't be able to see much. It is now the elemental's turn. Class is... Okay, so it raises its hands, slams to the ground, doing a slam attack. Okay. It's 5. Dealing 18 points of bludgeoning damage. And he, your dad puts his sword up, gets hit, takes a knee to this freaking hit, and then raises his hands up as it does it again. Well, first off, he needs to roll the hit. My bad. This time it misses. And after he takes the first blow, he tumbles to the side, and the second one misses. 2. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's all. That's gonna mess. Okay, and with that, it's your turn.
Okay. And so I've got like a clear shot at this earth elemental. My dad's not in the way.
Clear is kind of pushing it. You've got a shot.
Well, yeah. The risk of collateral damage is not, okay. Yeah, I take a shot at the earth elemental.
Okay, roll the hit. Kind of just pins into the side. And again, you're just thinking that this thing is a little too much for you.
Okay.
It is now Chiron's turn. It's at this point that you're looking at him, and then he notices something, smiles, and then is like, "See, this is why you pay attention when I'm talking." And then he just readies his sword, plunges it into the center.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that hits. Same thing. Okay. Stabs and then just like twists it and then pulls it back out. And this is gonna deal a whopping 6 + 30. All right, this is gonna deal. Okay, as he does this, you hear this thing let out a roar of what can be almost defined as fear and pure agony. Just this, like as bellows before, like it was just getting zapped, like it was hurt. Like this is, you've just taken off a fucking arm agony. Just, and the rocks above you start to shimmer and shift above, and little pebbles start going down to the center, going down into the clearing. And out of this anger, it's gonna roll to hit him again, slamming into the ground, dealing again. This is 2d8. I should know this. 2d8. Shit! Wait, no. Is it +5? Oh, it is +5. Shit. 20 points. God, what's he at? Holy shit.
Congratulations. Now you know that your dad actually was dead.
Okay, your dad is looking fucking rough, but, he's just, like takes it down and then just smiles and like, he's gonna use his, bonus action. That kind of takes a breather, and then he's gonna go and do the exact same thing that he did last time, just going all in. Actually, no, he's gonna back up into the crevice, and then kind of like that, stab twice, and then back up into the crevice.
Okay.
That misses. Holy fucking shit. Okay, so second one hits. He aims for the same place that you can't quite see. It's then that you start to notice this kind of crystal ball-like structure as the gaps in the rocks start to grow further and further and further apart. Okay, this thing is like, as he does, this thing's fucking right arm just plops to the ground, and it just, again, at this point, you feel like it's almost lost its ability to talk, like it's just becoming less and less and less. And it's your turn now. But your dad is now in the crevice, so you can...
My dad is in the crevice.
Yeah, so like you can see this thing standing tall, so like you see its core is now exposed, but...
How's my dad looking?
He is not looking good. His knee looks like it's like... Is that the way it's always faced? And his fucking body is torn and scraped. He is panting. He is not looking good.
Okay. Yeah. I'm going to approach this monster, still staying out of melee distance, and I'm going to loose an arrow straight for the core.
Okay, go ahead and roll with advantage because it's exposed to you to hit.
This is the for hit. Okay.
Yeah. Is that in that 20?
No, that's just the 18 plus 3.
Okay. Roll for damage.
Does this guy have a disadvantage against piercing? I mean, I guess we would know.
The piercing damage doesn't seem to be doing a whole lot. It's true, but you aim for the core and you hit it. This thing's huge. This thing's like around the size of its torso. Okay.
Wait. I also get to roll Hunter's Mark.
The rolls on this fucking fight are killing me. Okay. So you let loose and your Hunter's Mark like tightens its like emanates around it as your arrow smacks into the core, and the core fucking cracks at your arrow's touch. It is now the Earth Elemental's turn. It is going to reach in and try to grab Chiron with advantage because he has nowhere to go. 17. He tries to grab it. He slashes at its side, and it just kind of shakes its hand. And now it's Chiron's turn. It's he is going to come out of the crevice and kind of push you back a little bit and ready his sword, like just looking at it, like, tell me where it's coming from. And he's going to ready.
That's what he says to me?
Yeah, he's like, tell me, like, when it comes, tell me where. And then that's his turn. He's going to ready. And
wait, did the Earth Elemental go into the ground?
No. It's still up.
Okay. It's reaching. It's up, reaching.
It reached, and then it's now through the crevice, and it is looking at both of you. Its core is still exposed. It is now your turn.
Okay. Sorry, the music is still louder than your voice. So both the Earth Elemental and my dad are looking rough.
Yes, correct.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna take another shot with my bow.
Do it with advantage.
Fuck, that advantage paid off.
Sorry, I haven't seen this roll yet. Yeah, roll for damage. Okay.
Hey, that's +2, by the way. Oh, the last one was also +2.
Okay. Worthy of note. Yeah, I'm going to leave it to you to keep track of these things because I'm keeping track of lots of numbers. So I'm going to -2. That's +5. Like +2 your dex and +2 your proficiency. So that's 5. Or is that incorrect?
No. +2 proficiency +1 dexterity.
Okay. Oh, okay. So it's 4.
So +3 then for both. So that's 6 damage we didn't take accounted for.
Okay. All right.
And now.
And yeah.
Hunter's Mark.
Oh yeah, and Hunter's Mark. Go for it.
6. Okay. 3.
Whoa.
Can I use my bonus action to switch to my swords?
Sure. Go ahead.
Okay, I do that.
All right.
And stay at my distance.
All right. This thing goes into the ground and shimmers beneath your feet. You can feel this thing moving in the ground, and then it comes up, and then it starts to come up. And again, as this is a combat, this is a pretty odd scenario because I think in combat you should be able to like say things, like especially like if he asks like favors of you. So like in this case, I'm telling you as again like this is more of a tutorial, but I would say that he comes up, and then I would say that it comes up as more of a surprise. But if you said that he's coming up behind us, like then then I would have said that it's no longer a surprise. So again, for the sake of this being a tutorial, I'm going to say that, like, you know, it goes down into the ground and then goes underneath you, going toward behind you. You shout out, "It's coming from behind us!" Again, like, that kind of thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's coming from...
Yeah.
I'm a kid.
Yeah.
Behind us!
Alright. Yeah. And, again, tutorial mode, so... Yeah. But you get the idea. And this
Okay.
is, yeah. And think of every
And
interaction.
I would, like, interrupt you. I'd be like,
exactly.
I'd shout out to my...
Exactly. Like, you don't need to finish... like me, like, you don't need to let me finish. Like, if I'm doing something and you want to do something while I'm talking, everything is happening in time.
Okay.
So, you do that, he turns around, puts his hand up for another attack. And Chiron just swerves, and then slams his sword down into the core. Fuck.
Isn't that the first one a critical?
No. He rolled a 12 and a 4 on both d20s. See,
Yeah, but for the attack though, he rolled a 20.
Wait. Did I roll 3 times? Wait.
There's 4 die here. 4 dice.
I rolled a d20. Oh, that was for the fucking rock elemental. Sorry, that was my bad. He fucking rolled a 20.
Oh.
Okay. So. Okay. Holy shit. What's he at? As he sees this thing, raise his fists up in the air, slamming down, hitting your father, and just puts him into the ground, leaving a crater, and he is spitting up blood, and he is just not in a good place right now. His hand's still holding on firm to his sword, and he's gonna use his, like, last bit of strength and tosses you the sword, and he's fucking out.
Okay. What kind of... This is like a longsword?
Yeah, this is a long sword.
Okay, I catch it. Is it my turn?
Yeah, it's now your turn.
Damn.
For the love of Christ, Sky, hit this thing.
My parachute's caught on shit.
Yeah.
Damn, you're bad.
He's got his back to me, right? I don't know if that
Correct.
counts for...
He does. That's a flanking
Yeah.
bonus.
I'm gonna approach him and stab that damn core.
Okay, roll the hit with advantage.
And I'm doing it with both my swords too.
Yeah.
So
So you roll like one with the
is
sword that he
this-
gave you, and the other with the not one.
yeah,
Okay, go for it.
yeah. What kind of
With advantage on the first one.
So I just roll as if it's a longsword.
Yeah, just roll as if it's just a d20 to hit for the first time.
Okay.
What's your longbow?
Oh shoot.
Longbow again.
Add one other attack then. So it'll be a 10 and a 19.
So okay, for the sake of this fucking of my bad, I'm gonna say that the first one is your not magical weapon, and the second one is your magical weapon. But in the future, you're gonna need to specify.
Oh
which
yeah,
one's
no, it
which.
was my left hand. Yeah, I used it in my left hand.
Okay, so yeah, but like when it's like I am going to roll for the not magical sword, and then I'm going to roll for the sword. Like you need to communicate that with me.
Yeah.
So like I'm rolling for this weapon, now I'm going to roll for this weapon. So again,
It was
for the
my main sword is the first one. But-
Okay, and that misses, and then the second one hits. Go ahead and roll. Roll.
Oh shit, I'm getting.
I've done this a million times. Roll 4d6.
Okay, I'm having trouble with the die thing. Here, okay, there we go.
Roll 4
I was
d6.
clicking on the basic rolls because I thought
roll,
I was
roll
selecting
4
stuff.
d6, and then add
Not
5.
plus strength.
And then add your strength and proficiency bonus. Actually, no proficiency because this is a new weapon to you. Add your strength, and then plus 5. 4 d6. Add 5, and your
And my
strength.
strength.
Yeah, add your strength and the 5 after the roll though.
My strength modifiers for each roll.
No. Just
No, it's
you
just-
roll.
it's just the whole
yeah,
thing.
Yeah. You do that after. Just roll me the
Yeah,
dice
the
first.
whole thing is plus 7.
Yeah. Whew! Thank God. Okay. How do you want to do this?
Oh,
Fucking hell, man.
with my father's life in my own hands, I realize the folly and that it's up to me to atone for my own mistakes. I lunge in with my normal sword, trying to feint to make an opening. It glances off, and I see in between two of the stones, I see a clear opening for the core, where I take my father's very sword, and plunge it into the core with every fiber of action in my body. I plunge as hard as I can, seeing that this guy fucked my dad, who is, a tough guy, right? I put all my faith into this one hit, and close. Almost as soon as I feel the contact in my hand, feel the resistance, I plunge it through, and I feel the release in my hands, and almost not believing, I twist the blade, trying to end this thing's life, as it screams in agony, and I feel I'm not certain if this thing's gonna smash down my back, but I start to feel rocks tumbling away, right? And I just stand there with the sword in its body, stabbing at this core that I find, praying to the god of war that this thing's gonna be dead.
All right.
Right.
So you just praying to Bane, shove it in, twist it, and then just and go ahead and roll me a con save.
A Constitution save. Okay.
Yeah.
I do not have advantage.
You do not have advantage. Okay. So as you plunge it into this thing, it lets out a static charge in your hands.
Oh, I cast elemental absorption.
Is that a reaction?
Yeah.
Oh.
Absorb elements. I cast absorb elements.
Sweet. Thank you. I was really scared that I was going to kill you, to be perfectly honest. I was...
That only takes half of it though.
Oh, okay. D6 plus 8. 4 points of lightning damage?
Okay.
Are you still alive?
Yeah, no, totally.
Okay. I didn't know how much health you had left. I thought maybe you were more than that. Okay. Anywho.
4 points of damage. Okay.
4 points of lightning damage. And it just electric shock as this thing roars out one last time, and the core shatters everywhere, leaving dust and occasional shards on the ground.
Oh, hell yeah. First thing I do is take my father out of the crater he's in, right? Lay him, he's coughing up blood. I check his pulse.
Go ahead and roll me medicine to bring him back.
11.
Okay. With a amount of, relying on your training, you managed to bring him back. and he just looks back up at you.
Oh shit.
Spits out a tooth to his like, you know, to his life, and it's like his like blood, like his tiefling dark skin and his solid black eyes looking back at you.
Hey, what if that's how he chipped his horn?
Okay.
Saying.
Okay. That's a. I didn't think about that. This whole thing kind of went way shittier than I was expecting, to be perfectly honest. So he sits up, and you notice that part of his horn just stays on the ground as he gets back up. Oh, as you know, blood starts oozing from his mouth from like his bit tongue from when he was slammed to the ground. And he just looks up at you. What? Just take me back. And he just...
I'm like, you're alive. God damn it, you're alive. And I hug him for a moment and then pick him up.
Yeah, he definitely like puts all of his weight on you, like, and he is a heavy dude.
Okay.
And he's like notions for a sword, like in the sheath, and then points to his side.
Okay. I put that in. I sheath the sword, hold him up, arm around my shoulder.
All right, for the sake of brevity, I'm gonna say you make it back to camp.
Okay.
He set him down. The fire.
Oh wait, no, I have to. I loot the corpse. I take part of his core.
Okay, so on the way out, you know, he's on your shoulder. You see a shard of the core that you shattered, and like stabbed into a rock. It's like giving off this slowly fading glow, and you take it out. It's around half the size of your palm, and you're a big creature. And you look at it and put it in your pocket and continue walking forward. You make it back to camp.
Yeah.
Chiron just plummets down to the fire, which is now just a coal bed. You fucking make dinner.
Yeah, I start by lighting the fire. Yeah,
Okay.
I put him down. I see, like, you need anything? You okay? You need bandages? He's got bandages.
And points to the backpack that he left behind, that he like set down when he first showed up. Red vial.
Okay.
We get started.
Yeah, I hand that to him, and I give him the backpack too.
Okay, you just hand him the whole backpack. You hand him the vial. He downs it. You see the wounds in him start to close up as he downs this thing. Looks back up with like revitalized strength. What were you thinking?
My character's clearly ashamed. You know, I look around and I'm thinking, I'm trying to find reason in my action, but I know I wanted to test myself, and I was in on my action. So I say, I'm sorry. I didn't know what I was getting into. This is all my fault. Damn it.
Yeah, it is. And then he just goes up to you and grabs you by the back of the head, and just like looks at you with like this firm.
Grabs me by the damn horn or something.
No. He just grabs you by the back of the head, like back of the head.
Okay.
Looks at you. Tell me what you were thinking. I don't want your apologies. Tell me what was going through that fucking head of yours.
I thought I could do it. I've been training for so long. I needed to do something on my own. I needed to prove myself. I thought I could, damn it.
So, the emotions are coming through you, and then you just sort of lets go of the back of your head. There's a light that tap, which is not so light by tiefling standards, at the top of your head, and just responds. So, you weren't thinking maybe this thing can go and fuck up my old man. Maybe I shouldn't. Maybe I shouldn't engage this thing. You weren't thinking maybe this thing is more than I can handle. You weren't thinking maybe this thing has a core in the center. You weren't thinking maybe I don't know enough. Maybe you weren't thinking there's 1,000,001 things that you could have been thinking, and you're saying you thought none of it. Think before you act.
Barakas looks down at his chest, fists clenched, tears, starting to come down my face, and I say under my breath, teach me. Show me the way. What do I need to do?
Lesson.
Clearly.
The lesson for today, and don't you ever fucking forget it. And then you go back to where you are at the tavern, and his voice echoes through your head. Think before you act. And you are now back at the tavern, walking outside to this fist fight that this guy had challenged you in. You hear the bellowing of the patrons inside, and his friends walk out, and some people walking out to see what's going on, and this gigantic bodybuilder like man cracks his knuckles and looks at you and is like, how are we doing this?
I've been reminiscing for the past. Oh, for me it felt like a while.
This all happened in an instant. Just you thinking back to everything that happened. You challenge me.
I look at the guy, and I'm like, "Hey man, I don't want any trouble. I'm just a bar handler. I'm the server. See."
He smiles. You challenge me, and now you disgrace my honor by trying to back out. I will not allow this.
Am I armed right now?
Well, so by your knowledge, this is something that we talked about in your character sheet, but just a reminder, the challenge.
I didn't intend to challenge him. So
okay, you agreed to his challenge, and
okay.
and he sits back.
Oh, that's right. He challenged. Okay.
Yeah, and you agreed. So
that's right.
As the challenged party, you decide how the fight, what kind of battle you were going to be fighting.
I can pick anything.
Yes, you can pick anything.
Can I pick a loot battle?
No, it's gonna be a fight.
Combat.
Yeah.
Okay. He's a big dude. I choose. Are there any rivers nearby?
Not really. You're close to the city. You're just on the outskirts, so you can see the lights from the city coming in, but you're next to a road.
I'm next to a what?
A road leading into the city.
Okay.
Here you are. Sorry. There you go.
He's a big brutish dude.
Yeah.
To the rooftop then. If it's the fight you want, it's the fight you're gonna get.
To the rooftop.
Yeah, we're fucking fighting on the roof.
Did you see the roof?
What?
Did I not put it on? That's where you are right now, is that picture.
Yeah. Yep, to the rooftop.
He sort of looks up, looks back at you.
I look at him, get up there.
You mock me. Fine, if you don't take this seriously, he just readies his fist like, I'll do the talking. Hand to hand. The way it was meant to. Sound reasonable?
Hey, and you're not the one who gets to do the choosing here. Trial by
He sort of like takes his breath back. He's like, "You're the one that is mocking me by joking around in a time of serious challenge."
That was no joke, but
The roof is
bow combat. Final offer.
bow.
Bow, yeah.
You look to his side. He does not have a bow.
What does he have?
He has this gigantic battle axe on his back, and his fists that are like wrapped up in cloth, and burly leather armor on.
I can't like supply him like a short bow or something.
Do you have 2 short bows on you?
No, I don't have 2 short bows. They're like what? They're like a couple gold or something. I mean, nah, I wouldn't want to do that though.
Again, this is a formal thing, but
Yeah.
it's you're being a little over the top with it. Like this is
Okay.
supposed to be just like a one and done. Like,
There's, like,
we're
rules.
supposed to fight each other. Like, are we using weapons? Aren't we? We're using fists. And like if
So there are like rules and regulations kind of that you're supposed to abide
it's not
by.
it's not anything. It's going to be like a flicking competition, for instance. Like it's this
Okay.
is again more about honor, like giving you the upper hand to show that you can overcome they can overcome any obstacle the challenge party will give the kind of combat that they wish to undertake. Like the basic rules. Like
Okay.
think
He has to reload.
think
All the shots on me.
like no weapons, no magic,
Yes!
that kind of thing.
Yeah. No.
What was that?
Meet me at the outskirts of town. Bring your axe.
He smiles. Why don't we go there together? Just like, and he looks at you like not trustingly, thinking that you're gonna back out.
All right.
And
Then.
at this point, the cook comes growling. He's like, "Hey, where do you think you're going?"
Shit. This asshole over here trying to take me on a duel. Can I go on leave?
He takes a step back. Fight right there.
From this guy.
It's from your boss. And then goes back inside.
Wait, what did he say?
He's like, "Fight right there, an order from your boss," and then goes back inside.
I look back at the guy, raise my eyebrows.
Yeah. He kind of
Like,
raises his eyebrows back. You know what? This has gone on for way too long, and it's kind of killing my buzz here. And then he sort of calms his like slightly drunkard face, and then looks back up at you. I challenge you to unarmed combat. Do you accept?
unarmed combat? He's a huge dude.
He is a huge dude.
Interesting. Unarmed, you say?
I have no
That's what he
interest
said.
in. I have no interest in killing you.
All right, let's do this.
All right. Cracks his knuckles. Looks back. Looks up. Like again. Shrugs off this drunken state that he was in. Gets really serious.
I like to think that I'm already like kind of bruised from previous duels. That like this is just like a reoccurring thing. Not like every day, but like maybe every week and a half or something.
All right. And now listen carefully, Sky, because this is a phrase that's going to be used a lot in the campaign, and you may put this down in your notes. Looks up at you. Breathes in. Looks at you with a sense of bloodlust. Wevanuik uprikav. Honor. Agak memoriusan ro avafalan. And then he awaits your response.
You're gonna have to say that again.
Was I too quiet?
We've Vanuik Uberkov. No, because I was writing it down.
I sent you the message. I sent you a message
Oh.
with the phrase.
Oh, cool. Oh, yeah. All right. And I just say the same thing back. That's the cultural thing.
Yep.
So it's Wiav Nuik Uprakav.
Yeah, but it's like one word, like nuekuprakav. Like there's
Okay.
there's a dash in there.
Upri-
Uprakav, comma, honor, comma, agach memoria sandro avafalen.
Ag.
I've been looking forward to this.
Memurisan ro av. Fallen. Okay.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to practice this thing.
So you reciprocate and go ahead and roll initiative, my dude.
I gotta write this down so because it's gonna go away. I like this guy. He's hardy. He sobers up fast.
Yeah,
He's a little
but
bit of a jerk.
As
but-
soon as he utters that phrase, you notice him kind of slouch back into his drunkard state again.
Okay.
He just got really serious for that one moment.
Oh. I'm still writing this down. The honor's gonna have the hype is gonna have to slow down.
Okay, and this is going to teach you the basics of unarmed combat.
Oh, cool. Given any other situation, I would not have I would try to challenge this guy in armed combat. Okay, I have written that down. I might write a little better. Okay.
All right, roll initiative. All right, he's going to go first, and he's going to take 2 big swings at you.
So I'm unarmored?
You are unarmed, not unarmored.
Oh,
You are unarmed.
okay.
So, swings left, swings right. What's your armor class? It's 15?
15.
Yeah. Swings left, swings right, just taking a step back. He's a little stumbled, clearly not sober. He looks, and you're up.
All right. So you said you're good. So it's everything from normal combat, right? Like you still have attacks and
You
like
roll
attacks of
yeah,
initiative.
yeah. Same basic thing. Unarmored attacks, you roll one. You roll a d20 to hit, and then you roll 1d4 plus your strength modifier for damage.
Okay, and the roll is based on my strength.
Yeah. Oh, and proficiency bonus because you're proficient with your fists.
Cool. So I just roll twice. Yeah, I'm gonna. Can I? Is it dual wielding? I can attack twice.
Yeah, you can attack twice.
Cool. Yeah, no, I'm just gonna punch him.
13.
First fist, second fist, right here.
Second one. First one misses. Second one hits.
Okay. And now that means I get. You said 1d4 plus my strength, but
And
it's not
proficiency.
plus my strength because dual wielding.
No, with fists, it's still plus your strength.
Okay. Strength modifier. All right. I do 5 total.
So, like as he.
Oh, plus proficiency.
Yeah.
Plus proficiency is 7.
Okay, so as he is recovering from his missed 2 swings, you just swing down. He moves back, and then you just swing back up and uppercut his jaw. So in unarmed combat, just for fun's sake, it's nice to describe what you're doing. It's like I punch him in the gut, shoulder, jaw. It makes it more interesting because again,
So,
like, you can
but I have
play,
to know if I hit him or not.
Yeah, you did hit him, and you just and again, since you didn't describe it to me, like it leaves it to me, which again gives me more control. But as the player, it's fun to describe your actions, especially in a fist fight.
Oh, so I say say
Yeah.
if I want to go for an uppercut or something.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like
I was thinking it would
like,
change
or,
whether
or,
or not
or I
hit
grab
him.
his
I don't
nuts
know.
and twist him off, kind of thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Cool. So I say like what I'm going for,
Yeah.
and then you say whether or not it hits.
yeah.
All right,
And then
cool.
depending on what happens, I may enact a status effect.
Ooh. All right. That's really good to know.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I end my turn.
Oh yeah. So that's 7 damage. Put that down. No. There you are.
And you can like grapple too, right? But it
Yes, you
doesn't
can. Yes, you
give much
can.
benefit.
You can use your action to grapple them. And speaking of which, upon recovering from that uppercut, he just stares back down at you, and he's going to attempt to grapple you. Roll me strength.
A strength save?
Strength save. He grabs you and then slams you down to the ground, like twisting your arm behind your back, and he is going to roll advantage to hit. And he plows his elbow down into your shoulder blade. You kind of like move into it a little bit, and his drunkenness is just making him really sloppy. It almost feels kind of like a massage.
But he's got me grappled.
But you are grappled.
Okay. He's got my arm behind his grapple. Only with one hand, though.
Yeah.
All right.
So in order to get out, you need to use you can attempt to ungrapple by using a bonus action.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna try and twist around so my arm is he's got up like that with one hand. Right. Yeah.
Yes, correct.
Okay. I'm gonna go for a reverse headbutt. Try and get out of the grapple.
Okay, so that'll be your attack. Go ahead and roll to hit.
Okay.
That hits. Roll for damage.
Which is remind me again, a D6?
D4 plus your strength and proficiency. Excellent.
Plus another 4, so 8.
So, kick back, and he just lets go of your arm with that headbutt. You don't even need to him to get it. He just, this big dude, thinking to him he's just so unhappy. He is so kind of looking all over the place, like he's seeing 3 of you.
Okay.
And since he let go,
I can still give him a jab to the sternum here.
Okay, roll the hit. That misses. So you attempt to swing, and he catches your fist.
It's plus 2. Yeah, no, but yeah, whatever. It's 12. That was just a regular.
Yeah. You still miss. So he grabs your fist, looks up at you, and kind of smiles and gives you a toothy grin. All right, first one hits, second one doesn't. He's going to hit you for... If you're wondering, I'm using another site for rolls.
Okay. Can I turn the music down?
That better?
Yeah.
He's gonna hit you for 8 points of bludgeoning damage. Actually, 9.
All right. 9?
Yeah, 9 points of bludgeoning damage.
I forgot I could change your volume.
A quick punch in the center of the nose. Just bam! Right there.
Damn. Okay.
He is more about quality than quantity. He is looking to end this soon.
All right. And that's his turn.
Yeah, that's his turn.
Okay. Damn. Well, I'm kind of shook from that punch. You know, probably like my nose is bleeding. He's a big guy. He's really strong. But he's drunk though.
He is quite hammered.
He's really using. I'm gonna aim to give a quick kind of sweep kick at his foot, at his ankle, specifically.
Okay.
For my first one, and my second one is going to be just a follow-up jab to the chin.
All right, roll the hit.
Okay. Like an uppercut.
All right, roll the hit. First one for the kick.
Okay. Yeah, that's right. Died.
Okay, that hits. Second one for the punch. 15. Okay, roll for damage for both.
+4 each. So 8 + 6 is 14.
Okay, how do you want to do this?
Okay, so the after getting firmly punched in the nose, I kind of recoil again, but it gets to me. I'm angry at this guy. I'm hurt. It was a fast jab, you know, fair, but it put my instincts on. So I look at this guy as fast as I can. I sweep for his ankle, knowing that he's kind of drunken, right? And I go for the knockout, basically. I catch his ankle firmly with my foot, kicking his leg far out, right, stumbling the guy and hurting his ankle at the same time. And before he can recover, with my offhand, I go for, knowing that this guy is stumbled, I do a really strong uppercut straight to the chin, and like kind of knock him off of his feet a little bit, but mostly just onto the ground. The dude completely loses his balance, falls off after the firm hit. I say, "Hey, next time, think twice before picking a fight with me."
All right.
And yeah,
And
I just leave the guy there.
Oh, did you? I didn't see you mention the second punch in that.
Yeah, no, I punched him straight on the chin.
Oh.
Knocked him off his feet.
So you knocked him off his. Oh, I thought your kick swept him off his feet, and then.
No, my kick just stumbled. He has 2 legs. I aimed for one of the legs. I knocked him off balance, and then while he was stumbled, I punched him in the chin.
So,
like within an instant.
So he's on the ground. He just looks up at you, and then his eyes kind of go white, and then he just knocks back.
Okay.
And his friends sort of walk over to him, and he. And
I say, take this bastard out of here.
They grab him and get him on their shoulders and look up at you with this distaste. We'll remember this. And then they drag him off the road heading toward the city. The cook comes.
I gotta get out of this town.
Yeah, the cook calls him like, "Hey, come back in. We're busy. Hey!" And then he's like signaling to the people that are dragging away, and then notices that he's dragging his friend. Looks over at you. Well, I guess that kind of shit happens all the time around here. Get back behind the counter, and then he goes back inside.
I grab a cloth, wipe my nose, face off, clean myself up, and then resume bartending.
Okay, you go back inside. Smeared blood from your nose, kind of over your face. You keep wiping it away. One of the barmaids goes up to you. All right, we need. What the fuck happened to you? Just totally busy. Did not even notice that this was happening.
Rather not talk about it. You got a cloth or something?
She reaches into her pocket and takes out a white handkerchief and hands it to you.
A handkerchief. All right. I start wiping my face off, and I look at her, and I'm like, "You don't mind if I soil this, do you?"
She's like, "Oh."
And then proceed to wipe my face off.
As she was going to respond to that question, you do it anyway, and she's like, and just coughs a little bit.
All right. I don't have like bandages or something on me.
Do you?
I don't. I got like potions, cloth.
Yeah.
No.
Did you do that?
I don't want to tear this girl's handkerchief.
She's like, and she looks up at you after you wipe her face with blood. Keep it. It's my gift. And then she just takes the plates and goes to the kitchener shelf.
Okay. Yeah. Blood clots pretty quickly.
Yeah. Yeah, whatever. Now everyone is just kind of silently acknowledged what happened, but no one really brings it up after that.
I should turn a light on real quick. Cool.
All right. So your shift ends, and the once crowded tavern goes silent, and the barmaids are cleaning up, and the kitchen is clamoring with the sound of pots and pans and water. And you finish up wiping down the counter, taking the tabs off, rolling the barrels down into the cellar, and you're done for the day.
Cool. Do I get paid every day, or is that like a wage? Am I on a salary?
You get paid on a daily basis because you're a scab. You came in.
Yeah.
And
that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
All right. And now I'm just free in the city.
Well, are you gonna ask for your money first?
Oh yeah, no, yeah. Of course, I asked for my money.
Okay, so you go in the back, and the chef and the owner of the inn is just scrubbing away at a pot.
I clear my voice, look at him, it's like try and get his attention.
He does not notice you at all. He's just scrubbing away. It's like, oh, this goddamn fucking. He just puts his full body weight into the scrub, like someone's really in there.
I walk over the guy, grab him by the shoulder, and
as you do that, he just looks up like ah, and then just like elbows like to the back of him. Go ahead and roll me acrobatics.
All right. Oh man.
You dodge out of the way, Neo style. He's like, sorry about that. I thought you were somebody else.
They'll be paying me extra for this.
Roll me. Are you serious
Charisma.
about that?
Yeah.
Okay, roll me persuasion with disadvantage.
All right.
Okay. Looks up at you and is like, the fuck are you on about? And then reaches into his pocket, tosses you your 15 silver wage for the day. It's like, all right, you coming back tomorrow? I could use a hand.
I'm afraid I'm not exactly fit for this town.
Oh, I see. Get your type around here pretty often. Often enough. You can, you have work, should you need it. I always need a man to pour the drinks or change the sheets. Yeah.
Much appreciated, sir.
Hope to see you back.
Can't say I'm gonna be coming back anytime soon, though.
Fine. He smiles and nods. Well, it's been good. And then he just goes back to cleaning his pot.
Find yourself a tougher barkeep.
So he looks up at you, having paid attention to you, and just like, and then just lifts up. He's like, his sleeves were already tucked back because he was doing dishes. Then he tucks it up even further to show his shoulder. He sees a fucking military brand tattoo on this dude's arm, like right around there. He's like, oh, I think I can handle enough. And then puts it back down.
I laugh and shake my head, and I head out, take my money.
All right. You walk outside, 15 silver richer, and The open road ahead of you to your right goes through the city. To your left goes to the series of highways that goes all throughout Veldon.
Yeah, I mean it's like night by now.
Yeah, by now
so.
you've worked a full day. It is nighttime. I'm
gonna find
all of your
like a better breakfast.
There's
place,
one
place to stay.
there happens to be one right that you just walked out of.
Oh,
it's a tavern. It's think of it like an inn.
okay, cool.
It's a tavern, but it's also an inn. I'm sorry, that was my bad. I'll put that in my notes. Things to be clear about. It's an inn with like a bar beneath it. Generally speaking, most taverns have like also places to stay, just because people get so drunk often.
That's good to know. So I peek my head in the door. I say, "Excuse me, how much does a room cost?"
The barmaid looks back up at you, and not having noticed that you had left. She was too busy scrubbing away at the floor. It's like, and she just starts cracking up. I was like, "Oh, get the fuck upstairs," and then just motions you up the stairs. Second room on the right. Then gives you a wink and then goes back to scrumming.
All right, so yeah, I head up, drop my stuff off. What time is it now?
It is well into the evening, probably around 10 o'clock.
Okay, yeah, no, I'm thinking about getting up early tomorrow. So I've probably eaten, probably for my job, we have like food, I think.
Yeah.
So I get some rest, get some shut-eye.
All right. As you go up in the tavern, in your room, it was a room that was
lock my door preferably.
Yeah. Okay. You go in, you lock the door behind you, you look around. This room was not clean. Someone had just checked out of this room, clearly. And so you see that the bed isn't made, and there are like bottles all around and dishes that have yet to be picked up. And you get the sense like, oh well, like we can say that one person stayed here one more night, kind of thing. From
how soiled are the sheets?
The sheets are fine. They're just messy.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. Not like could be worse.
All right, so you still hop into bed?
I mean, I examine the sheets first.
Okay, roll me perception.
Probably some nasty stuff in there. With
disadvantage. That's a 12. So you notice a distinct smell of alcohol emanating from the sheets, but other than that, seems fine to you. Like someone spilled something, but it's no longer there.
Yeah, I mean, I've got my own clothing, warm clothing. I live in like a pretty cold place, or I used to. Right? I've got animal furs, probably. Not in my inventory.
Yeah,
not in my inventory.
Then you do not have those.
Damn it. So I knock out the door and yell out to the main room, "Hey, can I get some clean sheets in here?"
So he yells back at you, "Get it yourself!"
All right. I head out to where the sheets are kept, grab like a sheet and a blanket.
Okay, for the sake of brevity, you do that. Then go back to the room.
And then go to bed.
Okay, you make the bed. As you put the blankets over you, staring at the wooden ceiling, the candle on the bedside slowly flickering down. Think about the day. You wonder where Chiron could be. You wonder where the next tomorrow will take you. You know that you're going to be moving on, but you don't exactly know where to go. You're wondering where you can get a lead. And these thoughts spin around in your head as you close your eyes and let sleep take you. And that is where we'll end it.
Damn, that was badass. Sorry.